Marco. Marco.
Hey, Marco, don't do this.
Test, test. Well, folks, it really be like that sometimes, don't it? It really do. Let's make sure everything's looking good, sounding good. Yes, yes, good, good. Okay. What's up? Welcome back, everyone. It is Always Marco here, back on the Always Marco live stream. Oh, it sounds amazing. Oh, wow, he really did it. Well, hope you guys are here. Obviously,
Thumbs up the ting.
thumbs up the ting if you're here. You want to support the channel. It might be a little. Is it a little bit echoey? For me, it's a little bit echoey because we finally got into the proper space, my like office space. If you've been following, you know that I had some flooding after I moved into a new house recently, and so I had like half a floor for like a month, and then recently they came and fixed everything. So today I got set up in the office, and I still need to get like a rug and some acoustic treatment of some kind, maybe like some furniture or some foam panels to absorb the echo in this room. But hopefully, since I'm talking directly into the mic, it shouldn't be an issue. You know, it's really interesting, you guys. My YouTube video about Patrick Bet-David's MLM scheme, PHP, which has, as we can see here, over 500,000 views, 545,000 views. It came out March of last year. My video interviewing Andrew, who used to be in PHP, with over 200,000 views, didn't do it. My video from 9 months ago about Patrick's Twitter meltdown when he cried misinformation and whatever else about people saying that he ran a multi-level marketing scheme on Twitter with 173,000 views, didn't do it. None of my lives, and this one from 7 months ago with a guy who used to be in PHP with 40,000 views, didn't do it, and on and on. But my recent Instagram/TikTok impersonation videos where I'm playing Patrick, you know, these are clips that I cut from the recent stream I did last Wednesday where I played Patrick Bet-David the whole time and I was in character the whole time. Arguably my greatest performance ever. The internet is, you know, gone mad over this. So this video I did if Patrick Bet-David was in the Avengers. And then the one that really has been taking off is this one, clipped from my stream, which was right before Halloween. This was my Halloween stream. Me dressing up as Patrick was my costume. This is the one that finally gets a response from the Bet-David PBD podcast valuetainment camp guy. Okay? I'm looking at what is the amount of houses you can go to in one night. I mean, what a legend. Rap name Foggy liked it. You've all seen his videos. A lot of big accounts like this. To get the most candy possible if each house is giving you, let's say, 2 pieces of candy on average. Look at this one. Dave Bengal. Rob, probably the best impersonation of anyone I've ever seen ever. I mean, what a compliment. And we had a comment because many people tagged him, or I don't know how he saw it. Adam Sosnick, co-host of the PBD podcast, commented, and I pinned his comment. I don't know why on the computer version, on the actual web version of Instagram, it doesn't show the pinned comment, but I pinned this. Sauce Talks Money said, wow, bravo, salud, respect. Obviously, Adam doesn't know who I am and has never seen any of my content. Otherwise, I doubt he would have been commenting this in the first place. Salute, respect. I mean, it's good to know that a guy who has probably talked to Patrick more than anybody else on the planet thought this was a good impression. It is. And I replied to Adam and I said, set up the debate with me and Pat so I can confront him about his multi-level marketing scheme that most people lose money in. This is true, okay? I can back this up with PHP's own income disclosure. It is a multi-level marketing company that uses insurance as its product. They use what they call direct selling or network marketing to push it. Most people lose money. I think it's predatory. I think it's wrong. I think, in my opinion, if you're advertising something as being a great opportunity, but the numbers actually reflect that most people lose money, I would call that a scam, okay? Some people, based on the endless chain structure of an MLM, would at least colloquially refer to that as a pyramid scheme. So I said this to Adam, and Adam replied and said, "That's fake news." Interestingly, though, he liked my comment when I said that. Where is his like? Oh, shout out rap name Foggy also liking it. Adam's in here somewhere. Here, he liked the comment when I said set up the debate with me and Patrick. But then he said that's fake news. So I responded back and I said, unfortunately, I ratioed him. I said, no, it's not. I have a YouTube video breaking it down with over 500K views from last year. I'm one of the most knowledgeable people in the world on the topic of MLM and pyramid schemes. Calling it fake news is the laziest head-in-the-sand deflection you could have possibly used. Anytime Pat is confronted on it, he waffles and babbles exactly like I demonstrated in this clip. Which is true. So, you know, and by the way, I know for a fact that Patrick has seen my my original video, or at least knows of its existence from last year, because there was an instance on Twitter last year, sometime a couple months after the video came out, where Jason Calacanis, who's like an investor finance type guy, he sorry if I'm not doing that a good justification there, Jason. He had a Twitter back and forth with Patrick Bet-David where let's see where he said it. I'm going to try to find the X. Basically, Jason Calacanis tweeted at Patrick Bet-David and said, "Is this you?" I'm going to try to find it. And it was a link to my video called Exposing Patrick Bet-David's Pyramid Scheme. And Patrick responded and said, "Is this you?" And it was a photo of Jason Calacanis's name on the Epstein flight log. So rather than actually, in typical Patrick Bet-David fashion, rather than actually address the issue at hand or acknowledge whether or not his company was even a multi-level marketing company, which you can't even get him to say. You can't even get him to say that it was an MLM. Never mind admit that it was something worse. But which is even ironic for me to say, because actually, substantively speaking, MLMs are far worse than simple pyramid schemes. But that's besides the point. In typical Patrick fashion, he just moves past that and starts trying to dig up dirt on the other person and, you know, appeal to their supposed immorality, which I don't know anything about the background of that. All I know is that Patrick was confronted with something, and in usual Patrick fashion, he just deflected away from it. I can't find that back and forth here on Twitter. Perhaps it's been deleted, but if somebody wants to, if somebody finds it and wants to put it in the Discord or something, I'll put a link to the Discord in the chat. Of course, you can join for free, and you can check that out. So, yeah, after that, Adam never responded, and it's funny. I've got more people saying Patrick is going to send you a cease and desist letter, or Patrick is going to sue you over the videos, over the clips where I'm impersonating him, which is just like funny, right? It's just for fun. I've gotten more people saying Patrick is going to send you a cease and desist over that than the actual video where I'm showing the thing he got rich from, which I think is deplorable. So, that's kind of funny. But I also have a clip here that I want to react to, because I mean, you can't make this shit up. This is a recent clip that came out. Rob, when did this come out? It just recently came out, where Patrick is talking about how to remedy Israel's public image. Yes, let's see what he said.
The craziest idea I'm going to put out there. And please, if you support it, cut it, clip it, put it on X, and let's see what people say about it. I believe the way to save Israel, for them to be humble, is Israel needs a roast like the Tom Brady roast. Wow. Put Netanyahu in the middle, bring Kevin Hart, Andrew Schultz, Dave Smith, Bill Toney, bring Shane Gillis, bring all of these comedians and let them do a 3-hour roast on Israel. Let them make so much fun of them, so much of it, and if you can take it, then the world is finally going to be like, all right, let's move on. We got it out of our system. Yeah. But they won't let it happen. This is going to be the craziest.
I mean, Is that not the most brain dead idea ever? Look at these comments. Look at these comments flaming him on this. Slimy businessman pushes an idea he desires to monetize. Yep. Making fun of a child murderer doesn't make things okay. What kind of dumb logic is this? It's a firing squad he needs. PBD is 100% a joke. Why not cut off their funding and make APAC register as a foreign lobby? I mean, you wonder why, Patrick. You wonder why people are calling you Patrick Bot David. Like, because you've been bought, you know? Even Adam jokingly on the Halloween stream where Adam wore like he wore like a hat with like attached curls like a rabbi would have, and that was his Halloween costume. And he was like making a joke, like sarcastic, like, oh, Patrick bought David. It's like, you're literally an idiot. You actually are completely disconnected, tone deaf. Maybe he knew this was a stupid idea. See, I'm giving him too much credit now. Maybe he knew this was a stupid idea and was like, yeah, but this would get clicks if I said this. I want to actually find the there was a different version where he not only said it on the podcast, he also then said it in a like video on X. Here, let's see. I can find the Facebook link. Where's the one on X? Does Israel need a roast? Patrick Bet David. Let me Google it. Does Israel need a roast? Rob, pull that up. Does Israel need a roast? I'm gonna see if I can find it on X. I think he might have deleted it. Let's go to his X and see. Is this it? Nope. Mamdani is a Muslim. He became the mayor of New York. Now, do you think that's a good thing or not? Because I think it's not. Because I don't like, you know what I mean? It's just you already know what he's gonna say. Where is the fucking picture of the video? I swear I just saw it. Okay, I've gone too far back now. I'm not sure if he deleted it, but it was there earlier when I was looking, and now it's not there. I was looking at it. Is this it?
So the biggest tutorial candidate, she has so many videos. She's got videos with 20, 30 million views.
Okay. Is this it?
Everyone's asking about who's going to take over. Charlie, who messaged me, said that he disagrees with me, but he thought my argument was fair. Now, we have a lot of people that have opinions. But what America needs right now is more synergies.
Jesus Christ, man. I don't know where the video went. Maybe he deleted it. Somebody had sent it to me on Instagram as well. Maybe he has it on Instagram. Anyways, my point is, I know for a certainty that he knows of the existence of me, and now that's further confirmed with Adam also responding to commenting on my video. Oh, look at this. September 6th. Thoughts on the Jubilee capitalism debate. Okay, I'm not even going to fucking watch that, honestly. I'm sorry. It's just too stupid. Yeah, I'm on his Instagram now, on his Reels page, and I also don't see it there, him talking about the Israel roast. Is it possible that he deleted something because he got too flamed for it? Anyway, the comments on Twitter were even more ruthless about, one of them said like something like multi-level marketing scammer has an idea to host war criminals, something like that. Can you actually imagine what that would be like? Netanyahu sitting there in the middle. Tony Hinchcliffe goes up. So, you like to kill kids? Everyone's like laughing. Everyone's, oh.
Oh. Hey, Marco, don't do this.
So stupid. Such a stupid idea, you know? Let's see this.
You know how quickly he corrected me? What did he say? He said, no, I'm not Israeli. I'm American.
Of course.
And I was trying to say Jewish, but my English being my fifth language. He says, no.
English being my fifth language. What are the first four?
I'm American.
This guy does not speak 5 languages. Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
American. And he kept saying it, right?
I know.
Yeah. So his pride is where?
Here.
America first.
Sure.
What's yours?
Hey, Pat, maybe what we need to remedy your public image is a roast of Patrick Bet David. I'll be happy to host it. I think I do a great job. Matter of fact, I will actually, we don't even need you to be involved. I will play you. I need to work on my Patrick laugh. That's one element of the impression that I need to work out. It's something like that.
America.
What's Tom's?
America.
What's mine?
America.
What's Rob?
America.
We love America because we live here. You know how quickly he corrected me?
Okay. just keep digging. He just keeps digging deeper, you know. I want to say what up also to the people in the chat, the members. Look at these names. You see these names. You see a name like that, and you just look at, okay, let's take out the red carpet for this guy. Tempest, who's a member. Jeff Miller. You guys know my Patreon recently was nuked. So if you guys want to support the channel, the best way is either Streamlabs link, which is pinned in the chat to donate. We're trying to fill up this dono goal right here. And if we fill up this dono goal right here, I will very begrudgingly react in full to the Patrick Bet-David, DJ Vlad, I know, I can't believe this, interview called Patrick Bet-David Tells His Life Story, 2 hours. And I will subject myself to this on a stream. People have also been asking me, like, people have been dropping good recommendations for, like, other things that I should say as Patrick. Like, people were telling me on TikTok I need to react to 6'7" as Patrick Bet-David. So funny. And talk about Fort Lauderdale specifically and, like, little different topics they want me to talk about. They want me to do one where I'm, like, upset at Adam. I think it's hilarious. So, let's see how she goes. Let's see how it goes. Right now, we're trying to fund some new things for the Always Marco extended universe. The new, some of you are unaware of this, but I'm launching a free guide. It's a PDF guide which compiles information from the books that I've read, the experts I've spoken to, and the experiences that I've had on YouTube, talking to former MLM victims, debating people who are actively in MLMs today, doing in my hidden camera infiltrations into these companies to see how they really work, and trying to understand the brainwashing techniques that they use in order to help you engage with your loved ones who are in MLM in a way that's not going to jeopardize the relationship or lead to them cutting you off, like my former best friend did in 2015 when he was in World Financial Group, which is ironically a company that Patrick Bet-David was also in before he started his own version called PHP. So I'm launching a free guide, and it's sort of, the guide will be free, but there will also be an additional option for people who want my, like, one-on-one guided support. A lot of people, they just want to talk to somebody who is, who understands what this is like and has gone through it. And so I already do offer one-on-one calls on my site, alwaysmarcomerch.com. But I thought something where we're doing sort of like weekly check-ins would be valuable for people to help give them, repeat, advice. So that's something I'm launching. I have like a whole website, custom URL, custom domain, email marketing automations. So that's been a startup cost that I've recently undertaken. Also hiring graphic designer, trying to get that, get it looking nice and everything like that. So yeah, that's something that I'm working on. Also, new bookkeeper, new accountant. My spy pen camera recently broke, so I'm looking at getting either another spy pen camera or one that I saw, which is very clever, which is like a button, it's like a shirt button, but it's a camera hidden in there. I think that could be even better actually, because it's even more like discreet and covert than a pen. And another Patrick Bet-David stream, of course, people have been asking for it, so I might have to do that as well. So yeah, if you want to support, become a channel member, gift some channel memberships for people to get early access to the new content and exclusive content. I'm excited to drop that, especially since I've been getting a lot of new followers over on TikTok and Instagram. I have seen the increase in new messages from people asking me for this type of advice. And I used to just respond to people on Instagram or whatever and have conversations with people and do calls and whatever, earlier in the channel history. But it's at the point now where, I'm grateful to say it, but also, the sword cuts both ways, as they say. I'm not able to get to everybody's messages because I just get too many between email, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube comments. It's just impossible for me to get to everybody. So I thought I'd launch a program where people can pay. It supports what I'm trying to do in fighting against multi-level marketing, fighting lawsuits, raising awareness, keeping the channel going, and also offers a valuable service that people need, people who are serious about helping their friends and loved ones out of these MLM cults. So I'm looking forward to it. let me read your comments before I move on. And remember, it's free to thumbs up the ting and click like on the stream. And I have one more announcement as well, which you might have seen yesterday on my Instagram story if you follow me on Instagram, but I'm going to share it with you here too because I'm excited about this. Jessica asks, when do I start my high school/university tour? I was wondering if I could live stream them. I would love to watch you educate these kids in style. Thank you, Jessica. I'm in the process of setting that up. I don't actually have like a tour set up. I have a few different schools that I'm working to speak at just one-on-one, but I haven't like plotted out a full tour. I think it's probably going to get rolled out in the form of me doing like a few one-offs to really get my feet planted and figure out like, okay, what exactly am I saying, and get a feel for how it goes. What kind of questions are students asking? What are the things that they that keep them engaged versus not, and whatever. So I would love to live stream them. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure schools are like sensitive about the privacy of their students. So I don't know about live streaming them, but probably I will film them. And definitely I would be able to drop some Q&A type stuff. Mr. Sharktooth, did I ever tell you guys about the time I spent in a German refugee camp? I don't know about that. Did you tell me about it? Did you not tell me about it? Uh-oh. Okay, let me go back. Chris, it was an actual response. Let's hope a debate happens between Marco and that scumbag Patrick, says Punk Films. He'll never do it. Tempest, what up? I agree. I don't know how people sleep at night. I guess, a lot of money can, make people forget their ethics, or maybe they never had it to begin with. Dickens Cider said this music is better than the PBD intro music. Thank you. Trey Tino trying to finish a South Park episode before this starts. Trey Tino, every day of life is a South Park episode. Who else is working for Smart Circle International? I hope not. Okay, let me read your comments. Marco always making us city goons duck with the gunshots. So true. DZ, I was looking for a reason to stop studying, then the notification of your live popped up. Let's go. Yes, sir. Punk Films can hear the reverb, but I sound good to him. Okay, that's another thing I need to get is like Streamlabs link in the chat. I need to go get a rug to like absorb some of the acoustics in this room. It's literally like 4 walls, and I need to. I mean, you see I'm in the lounge, but some people say it's a green screen. It's not true. And I also need to get a little table for like my props. Like I have when I do my like John Smith character, I have my like Trump. This is like my Trump 2020 flag it's like part of the character I do. This used to actually be like a neck warmer, but you can see on this side, I like cut it. And my Trump pin, which is from my cousin Gabby's Halloween costume from like 5 years ago when he was Trump. I need to get a little side table for my props. I have my cowboy hat as well. Now that I'm set up in one spot, I need to get all my props going again. I need to get like my judge's gavel for when we go to Goon Court.
What you were about to witness,
I need to get my fake money, real money that I can throw when the big bags come in. I need to get my gold gun again. Yeah. 20 Patrick Bet-Davids versus 1 always Marco, right? I would love to do 20 MLMers versus me. I think that would be great. There's so many people there's one guy who's like been in Herbalife for like 13 years who was commenting on my posts about Patrick reactions to his Jubilee episode, giving all the same usual nonsense. And I said, hey, if you're interested in having a conversation on my channel, let me know. And he said yes so far, but you know how these people do. They'll say yes, and then the moment will come to do it, and they'll be like, oh, actually, compliance said I can't, or legal said I can't. Just excuses and bullshit. Has Rob ever gotten a raise for all that work? Dude, some of the comments that were making me laugh were people being like, I feel bad for Rob. Rob is carrying this, right? What's up, Alexis? What's up, DB? What would Marco's version of PBD say about this? I think it's a great idea. You look at some of the best ideas in the world come from people who... It's actually the easiest impression that I've ever done because you don't have to think about it. Because what the impression really is the absence of thought. It's anathema to thinking. It's not critical thinking. It's just letting your tongue go, I hope Rob has seen my impression. PBD even mentioned something about his big nose. Did anyone catch that? I didn't. Pat needs to add Netanyahu to his painting with Malcolm X, yeah, and the Shah. The Shah of Iran. He's counting Farsi and Persian as 2 of the 5 languages. Hilarious. I can say hi, how are you in 4 languages, yeah. Jeff Miller, what up? Trey Tino, eagle sound effect. Yeah, no kidding. Pat is fluent in Swindlese, Scamlish, Scumswana, Swinese English. Yeah. How are you so good at it? I don't know. Somebody was in the comments being like, "You must have watched hundreds of hours of Pat's content. You must really love Pat. He lives in your head rent free." I that's just not the case. I'm just a very observant person, and I pick up on people's mannerisms and stuff. And you know, if you've seen one episode of his podcast, you've seen all of them. You know. What up, Specs? Hi, Specs. What's the hidden camera for? Are you new here? The hidden camera for my hidden camera investigations. I have a new one coming out that I shot last month where I went to 3 different Indian psychics in my city who promise that they can cure any negativity in my life and protect my future if only I would pay them an absurd amount of money to say prayers for me. So I have this hidden camera video that I did where I went to do these $50 consultations. So I paid $50 to 3 different guys to see what they said and compare the service. And yeah, you'll see what happens in the video. I'm working on it right now. It should be out soon. Marco, any update on the Latina gym girl? Interesting you asked. No, I was away from the gym for a couple of weeks because I was moving and I had way too much on my plate on a personal level and shit was just grim. But I've been back the past week and a bit. And I haven't heard her. I haven't seen her. Strange. But I am friends with an old white man who's in his 70s who used to be a pastor. And so I saw him today and last week. So it's always nice to see him. Let's see. Based if true, what up? The roast of meth? What? We have a lot of people that have opinions. Thank you, Pat. You got to get on the podcast, Marco, right? Are you a numbers guy? I am. Based if true, why are you retracting your messages, King? Little sus, isn't it? Peg Marmaleg, what up? Abby, what up? First time catching the live. Thank you. You can tell he's so fake, says Spit Bro. He sounds like behind the scenes he's a horrible boss. Oh, bro, if you knew even half of the stories that people who are current or former valuetainment or PHP employees / workers have told me, you'd be amazed. It's like there's literally group chats that people have of like former staff who just share their horror stories. And my understanding from people I've spoken to or who have reached out to me is that there's a constant turnover at Valuetainment and the PBD podcast for like production staff, sponsor, you know, people who get sponsorships, etc. It's just it's mad. PBD meeting his sleep paralysis demon. That's hilarious. So let me ask you a question. When you're haunting my dreams, are you looking for when I'm having a nightmare, or is it just whenever I'm sleeping? Because I talked to a guy who was on the podcast a couple of years back, and he's an expert when it comes to sleeping. And so he's telling us about the type of mattress and pillows you need to have. Now, when I was a kid in Iran, the pillow I had was just a potato sack with some straw inside of it. Now, I used to have to share that with my sister and my mom. But you look at where we came today, the thread count on the blanket is so high, we had to get it imported from Italy. By the way, the new shoes, Future is Bright shoes, made in Italy, you already know how it would go. Jeff Miller says, I have an idea for a South Park episode. It's just lawyers typing arguments into ChatGPT while their clients sit there and get charged out to ask for their services. Welcome to the actual court system. I have never seen the roast of meth. No. CDMV, thank you for the comment. I appreciate you. It always is good to see older people pumping iron. True. Trying to figure out how to phrase my question. Okay. Planning on doing new infiltrating MLM videos with the spy cam? Absolutely. I know a guy that worked at Valuetainment. He only lasted 6 months. Well, maybe he didn't work hard enough. Possible Matan collab, dude. I mean, who knows where this Patrick Bet-David impression could take me? I'm happy to do podcasts as Patrick Bet-David and let people know, let people know about it, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. They're saying I'm a scammer. It's not true. All right. Worst experience, Patrick Bet-David college lecture or a Smiley concert where Maggie Gyllenhaal makes a guest appearance. That's a fucking close one. No, this is not a PBD stream. What up, Walt Turner? I want to show you another video that sort of made me smile. Let's watch this. This is in Singapore. Shout out to Singapore. Let's see what they had to say.
We will introduce mandatory caning for scammers. Clause 64 of the bill amends Section 420 of the Penal Code so that offenders who commit scams, defined as cheating mainly by means of remote communication, will be punished with at least 6 strokes of the cane.
Is it my birthday? Is it my birthday? Hello? Are we in a fantasy land right now? Caning? Scammers? Good. Good, I say. 6 strokes of the cane in 2025. You love to see it. Make me bigger. Rob, can you make us a little bit bigger? A little bit more. Zoom in a little bit. 6 strokes. Yeah, everybody loves 6 strokes. I love this. I mean, scammers are the worst type of people. I have a video on my channel which was very, I mean, it wasn't like meant to be like a viral hit. I just wanted to make it because of the philosophy behind it. But I have a video on my channel called Why All Scammers Go to Hell. And it seems like it would be an obvious thing, but I'm basically framing it within the context of the book Dante's Inferno. When Dante descends through the 8 circles of hell, the final level of hell, the deepest, most depraved, with the worst punishment and the worst people, is called fraud. Below murder, below theft, below anything else is fraud. And I basically give my thoughts on why I think fraud is deservedly the 8th circle of hell. Because, you could justify I'm spoiling it a little bit. You could justify other types of grievances or crimes. You could... a murder could be looked at as manslaughter, or it could be self-defense, or it could be like a crime of passion, But there's no accidental way to do fraud. The closest thing would be multi-level marketing, where people who are defrauded into joining the scheme think that they're actually helping their loved ones by providing them an opportunity, not realizing they're actually dooming them to the same trap that they themselves are in. So, but even then, if you trace it back to the person who got that person in, that person's upline, you'll find that there's someone who intentionally, on purpose, is lying to deceive these people. I mean, the process itself, the proposition itself is fraudulent. Recruit 5 people who recruit 5 people. I mean, the endless chain math is fraudulent on its face. It just is fraud. Based on the fact that you're telling people this is a great opportunity, when based on the structure of it, most people have to be losing money at any given time. In order for anyone to make money, a multiple of people have to be losing money, actively losing it. So, yeah, I think it's deserved. So let's see what they say here.
We will also introduce discretionary caning in Section 420 of the Penal Code.
420, they're trolling with this. In Section 67.
For serious cases of cheating. We will take an equally firm stance against scam syndicates. These syndicates mobilize significant resources to conduct and profit from scams and have the highest level of culpability. Clauses 37 and 38 of the bill introduce new offenses in the Organized Crime Act, so that members of and recruiters for scam syndicates will be subject to mandatory caning of at least 6 strokes, if they knew that the organized criminal group was a scam syndicate.
Minimum 6 strokes. So they could be stroking you all night.
Beyond dealing with scammers and scam syndicates, another key strategy is to deny them the tools that enable them to conduct scams. These scam enablers include SIM cards, SingPass credentials, and payment accounts. Crippling the supply of scam enablers would significantly increase the difficulty for scammers to successfully conduct or profit from scams in Singapore. We will therefore introduce discretionary caning for those who facilitate scams.
I love it. Shout out to Singapore, man. Shout out to Singapore. I absolutely love that. It's so refreshing because I was just recently talking about on my WFG video that I put out, talking about how they're paid a $65 million fine. I talked about how frustrated I was and am with the fact that fraudsters, particularly multi-level marketing companies, are able to simply just pay exorbitant fines and keep it pushing. Like, think about Herbalife. Herbalife paid, as far as I know, the biggest FTC fine in history when they settled with the FTC in 2016, $200 million. Biggest FTC settlement in history. Let's just double check that and see. Rob, do a little research. ChatGPT, let us know. Okay, let's see. Okay, there's actually been more. Oh, so this was a couple years after Herbalife, $200 million. ChatGPT tells me the largest settlement by the FTC is with Facebook, now Meta, in 2019. Oh, yeah, this was because of the data shit, right? The privacy violations. $5 billion. I mean, this is the thing. If you're paying $5 billion as a punishment for doing something wrong, if it's so big that the number they're putting on it is $5 billion, shouldn't that just mean, like, doesn't that equate to such an egregious infraction or crime that you should just be shut down permanently? You know, how is it possible that they're allowed to just pay such big fines and be like, oh, don't do that again? Because what's the saying? There's a saying, if the punishment for a certain crime is a fine, then it's only illegal for poor people, right? Okay. Let's see. I'm curious. What are the next 4 highest FTC settlements? Let's see what... I'm sure Herbalife is within that top 5, right? I mean, 5 billion is fucking huge. Okay, Epic Games, 520 million. That was in 2022. Okay, so it really grew after the 2016 Herbalife one. They only got bigger. Equifax data breach settlement, at least $575 million. Jeez Louise. Let's see. ChatGPT is asking me if I want to look at the top 10 FTC settlements. Let's see what they are. Anyways, you get my point. I just think it's a joke, you know. So contrary to that, when you see the country of Singapore saying, oh, okay, we're actually going to start caning people, like we're actually going to start beating ass, I love that, because it's like, it's what should be happening. You should be going to jail and getting your ass beat when you scam people, you know, because scammers, you know, actually I'm due to look at it, but I'm sure the information won't be out until at least tomorrow. Today, there's supposed to be a hearing in the IM Academy case. As you know, the FTC sued IM Academy in May of this year and has ordered them to, specifically the CEO, Chris Terry, and his wife, Isis Terry, they've ordered them to hand over like financial disclosures and make clear where their money is and this and that. And not only are they behind schedule on it, according to the most recent update from behind MLM, but the court appointed, I forget what they're called, temporary receiver or something like that, has, you know, filed a report, which behind MLM goes into what that person wrote in the report. And they say that there's been like a very calculated web of attempts by Chris Terry to hide his money, move it offshore, crypto, put it in his lawyer's account, weird little shady shit, you know? So I don't know. I just think that's deplorable as well. Like, I Am Academy was labeled a $1.2 billion scam. And what's, all the people who were the top promoters, like Jason Brown went to go start another company, some stupid name, Zinrai. A bunch of the top people went to an MLM called Jifu. Alex Morton, $10 million settlement in order to get, it's just a fucking joke. And I'm sick of it. So I really love, it was really cathartic to see this Singapore thing. Here, let's see. Biggest FTC settlements: Meta, Facebook, Amazon, 2.5 billion. Oh, that's this year. Damn. They'll be fine. $1 billion penalty plus billion in consumer redress. Equifax, Epic Games, Google, YouTube, Facebook, AT&T. Where's Herbalife? Let me just ask, where does Herbalife rank? ChatGPT is an amazing tool, but it's not perfect. I literally feel like Rob. See, okay, FTC settled with Herbalife, $200 million. It's interesting. They settled the same day the lawsuit was filed, sort of like the Diddy Cassie thing, which means you knew it was coming. Herbalife would not make it into the top 5. But it's still a huge amount, Still a huge amount of money. Okay, let's see what y'all are saying here. We need to move to Singapore. Yeah, no kidding. Singapore, we're going to beat your ass. Fuck around and find out. Real. What up, Jared? Jeff Miller. Yo. Thailand. New offense, new defense, new quarterback. Marco, I'm a numbers guy. After reviewing and comparing the data, your PBD impersonation was awesome. Thank you, Oscar. Oscar. You heard about Johnny? Yeah, I heard they only gave him 3 strokes for that robbery he did. So funny. I could get stroked all night. I'm a revived Cutco out there. Hilarious. Specs knows all about Cutco. Just ask him. Punk Films, what up? Whenever I hear Christopher Terry, all I can think of the song, "Oh, Christopher Terry." I love it. Anytime I hear that song, I think of that too. Or like they had the other version, "Oh, I am a chairman." Thousands of people owe me a deep, humble apology to this day. I was trying to save people's lives, letting them know about I Am Academy and its practices. Black and Mexican people who were being taken advantage of this thing, their friends, their families. I remember one woman I spoke to. She was an older woman in her 50s. She was telling me about how her daughter has shunned her own mother. This old woman, I shouldn't say old, this poor woman has shunned her mother because she left I Am Academy and left the downline of her daughter. And now the daughter, as punishment, is preventing her mother from seeing her grandchild. I remember talking to this woman on an Instagram audio call in 2021, and she's crying. And I was trying to help people. I was trying to expose this and help people. And people called me a hater, a brokey. I had my Instagram reported countless times, taken down, 17 different times. And I had to do I had to contact little, secret spy helpers that I had to get it back. It was insane. And, people, most of those people just disappeared. There are still Instagram accounts that I sometimes stumble across from that time. You search a certain word in your DM folder on Instagram, and sometimes it'll pop up with an old convo, and I'll click on it, and I'll be like, where's this person now who is talking shit? You go to their profile, they haven't posted since 2021, or they're a private account, or they've wiped it, or, now they're a realtor. Now they're doing crypto something or other, It's like so many people owe me an apology, and I was trying to help y'all. And then finally this year, after 4 years, the FTC finally came out. Yep, it was a scam. Oh, so I'm always right, as I said in my new WFG video. Oh, so I'm always right. Oh, okay. Let's take it as a learning lesson, The Epic Games settlement, I didn't actually read it. Should we see what it said? Where was it here? Epic Games, number 4, Fortnite. COPPA violations, deceptive in-game purchases. Okay. What is that, micro loot boxes, microtransactions, stuff with kids? What was your question? Based if true was going to ask me a question, but you said you were trying to find the appropriate way to phrase it. Oh, Christopher. The fact that the guy who made the song, Oh, Christopher Terry, he has a whole mixtape. I think it was called Profit, Impact Over Profit or something like that. And every song on the mixtape was about like Forex and I Am Academy. It was so gay and cringe. What was his name? Sir Trilly. Brandon Thompson? No. Yeah, Brandon Thompson, the brother of Bryce Thompson, aka Sir Trilly. Shake. Yeah, we finished Shake the Bank. Oh my God. I can't wait to make a video about the death of I Am Academy and let you guys know about it. Just mad. Peace out, Jeff. Enjoy the gym. I did leg day today. It was absolutely grueling. Thumbs up the ting and drop the bag. Yes, absolutely. Where's the bag?
I gotta get the bag.
I gotta get the bag indeed, Scott Johnson. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the other thing I wanted to share with you guys. I'm excited about this. I recently updated the merch store. You guys have been asking me, and I don't know why I didn't have this as an option, but for years we've been offering this cult member tee, which you love to see. Look at all these colors: red, black, orange, yellow, navy, white, gray. Gorgeous shirts. I finally have added, winter is coming up, Christmas is coming up. It's early November. You do have to start thinking about Christmas gifts early. And I'm waiting on mine in the mail right now. I literally just ordered the sample, but I've printed designs using this exact same hoodie before, like the exact same blank hoodie, and it's exceptional. The quality, it's super soft. It's just awesome. The perfect hoodie to show your loyalty to the cult, especially on those days when it's cold on the commune. Premium feel, embroidered logo. Embroidered, not printed, actually embroidered and stitched in there. And we've got it in black, this sort of forest green, navy blue, and white. I love this white. I personally don't think I pull off white garments. I'm more, you see the shirt I'm wearing, it's like an olive green. My skin tone, I rock the blacks, I rock the navies, I rock the gray, I rock the olives. White, I don't think would look good on me, but I love how this came out. It's so simple and so, just clean. I just love it. Not only that, I also dropped, let's see, the anti-pyramid mug, I don't think was on there. I don't think it was actually available for a while. So I put that on there. I've simplified the total offerings of the merch. So now you just have these 8 items. We've got this is what I also added, the Samsung case. For some reason, only the iPhone cases were available, but we've got the anti-pyramid Samsung case as well as the iPhone case, going back all the way, I think, to iPhone 12. The Write This Down journal, I'm waiting. I just ordered a sample yesterday with the cult member hoodie, the anti-pyramid mug, and the anti-pyramid phone case. I was looking for where mine went. I had the mug and I had the journal, and I think I gave them away to goons that I met up with in real life. Because I'm just like that. I know for a fact I've given away a bunch of the anti-pyramid t-shirts. These are gorgeous as well. I have it in black, gray, and navy. I don't have this blue one, but it's a bit too bright for my skin tone. But these 3, you consistently see me rock these on the streams. And then, of course, the one-on-one calls, which I think I'm not sure if I'm going to take these away once the guided support program drops in conjunction with the free guide, but I might leave them there for now. They're there for now anyways. Yes. So this is brand new, and I'm waiting for mine, and I'm excited to have it because I'm going to be wearing this every day. And I was thinking, I want to have a nice hoodie to offer, but I don't want to have an overwhelming amount of options. And so it was between the anti-pyramid logo on the hoodie or the cult member. And I don't know why, I just felt like cult member looked more clean on the hoodie. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from also dropping the anti-pyramid hoodie, but for right now, that's what I decided to do. So, alwaysmarcomerch.com if you guys want to check it out. And I'm going to put a link in the chat right now, which is, you can see it right there. It says, use code GOONS for a discount. Hey, shh. When I posted on Instagram, when I post it on my Instagram story, you're not going to see me saying use code goons for a discount. You only know if you're a committed enough cult member that you're actually here watching the streams. So, yeah. Tretino, yeah, I got the link. Let's see the comment. Comment, singular. Let's see the comments. Shake the bank. DJ BK says, I got my $26.73 a couple weeks ago from the Facebook consumer privacy settlement. Insane. Microtransactions are scummy. Yeah, it's basically gambling, right? What other impersonations do you do? I've heard Trump and Bad David. I have a few, man. Who do I do? Pingu from the show Pingu, the claymation. E40, the rapper. Patrick Bet David. Donald Trump. Dude, I used to have Al Pacino. Oh, all right. Michael Jackson, but only the one line from Earth Song where he goes, ah. That's it. Who else do I do? Some of the OG goons need to remind me, who are some of my good impressions that I do? Trump was my best one up until I discovered I could do a Patrick one. Such a great impression. You look at his impressions and they're tremendous, frankly. Teletubbies vacuum. Yep, that's a good one. Jar Jar Binks. I need to work on my Jar Jar. Teletubbies vacuum for sure. You know, clip that. Oh, Jordan Peterson. Yep. You know, it's like, God, man, clean your room. Yeah. I do accents pretty good is the thing. Oh, Werner Herzog, the German film director. Y'all know about Werner Herzog. Don't act like you don't know. Werner Herzog. Let's just pull up any random Werner Herzog documentary. Here, let's see.
Reverend, you are
anything that's allowed me to stand.
Let's hear some narration.
Why does God allow capital punishment?
I haven't done that one in a while, but I think I could do. I need to work on it. I'm late. Why does God allow capital punishment? Can penguins be gay? Kanye, I can't do Kanye. What a random collection of impressions, right? E40. Nobody has ever said the words E40 and Werner Herzog in the same piece of content, let alone in the context of talking about impressions that you can do, you know? So yeah, that's the new merch is live, dude. I still haven't posted like an actual. Once I get the actual samples in my hand, you're gonna be seeing the mug on every stream. Hashtag product placement. Drinking out of it. You're gonna see the phone case on my phone. Right now, I have just a clear phone case. It's gonna be this, but with the logo on it. So you're gonna be seeing that, and you're gonna be seeing me in focus. Hopefully, one day soon. Focus. Come on. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I have to go over to the camera and actually press the button, which is annoying. And you're going to be seeing some very crispy, clean photos of me with the cult member hoodie on posted so that I can do a little promotional thing. Hold on. Sony autofocus, supposed to be the best in the world, you know? What up, Amif? Okay. Moving on. What do we talk? Did we already cover this? Caning in Singapore, yes. Adam responds, yes. New merch, yes. Need bags for the new website, the free guide, the graphic designer, the bookkeeper / accountant, the spy button camera, another Patrick Bet David stream. Talked about that. Talked about Patrick Bet David Israel roast. Read your guys' comments. Talked about Adam responding. What else? I guess I need to tell you about. First of all, let me click refresh and see how many of you are traders. We have 107 people watching and only 75 likes.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court.
Interesting.
Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marco in our forum, the Goon Court.
Very interesting that this happened. Oh wow, this just came out. I need to react to this. Logan Paul 4 hours ago. Speaking of court, Logan Paul dropped a video 4 hours ago called "They Sued Me and Lost" in captions 27 times. I can't believe I'm about to watch a fucking Logan Paul video on my stream. We reacted recently to Scott Schaefer, who did a video reaction to this, and he was reading from the court transcript or the court filings. And I wasn't sure what to make of it, but apparently, I mean, now we're going to hear Logan Paul's side. I really hope this doesn't affect CoffeeZilla's lawsuit, or rather the lawsuit against CoffeeZilla. You can do a good Killy impression. Never let up. I mean, isn't Killy just doing a Speaker Knockers impression when you think about it? Jello Impact, what's up, bro? Jello Impact has been killing it. You guys might remember Angelo from my... we did a video talking about his experience in Amway. Look at him. They grow up so fast. 111K subscribers, and he's easily going to blow past me right away with the amount of views he's getting. So he's absolutely stepping on the niche of Genshin Impact videos. How much is it to like the stream? Completely free. Okay, let's see. The Logan Paul situation sucks. Yeah, let's check out what's happening. Here we go. This is at his wedding, apparently, and his lawyer's telling him about it.
Class action dismissed. That is sick.
I can feel.
I hate Logan Paul's videos because it'll be like, look at this, 17 minutes long, and I just want to hear about the lawsuit, but now I'm gonna have to watch a bunch of vlog shit. I'm gonna skip through where I can.
My ice crystals down my opening.
It's literally madness.
I think he's going to jail, dude. This move, I would be risking it all, but I'd have to do it at the right time.
Oh, God.
Good to see you, Kev.
And good to see you too, Logan. How you doing? Welcome back to the vlog. New videos every Wednesday. Hit that subscribe button. Bullseye. Some good news. The CryptoZoo class action lawsuit against me got officially dismissed, which is a pretty big deal. The timing of this was insane. The ruling came literally as Nina was walking down the aisle. And this week, the district judge approved it. So, yeah, this is pretty significant for me just because I've been on this pursuit to try to clear my name.
I mean, speaking of what we were just talking about, the settlements, it's like, it seems that whether it's Trump pardoning all these crypto, scammers, or Logan Paul's case getting dismissed, it really seems like if you have enough money, or like the I Am Academy settlements I was talking about, it really seems like if you have enough money, you can just get away with anything.
Unwind years of this fake scammer reputational damage narrative that got spun up. And so this is like a good...
I can't wait to see CoffeeZilla's video on this. I hope there is one.
Good first step in that. And I have to say, like, I was pretty excited when I first found out.
Literally, right before you walk down the aisle.
If I'm here, you know it's good news.
What's the news,
Class
Jeff?
action dismissed.
Yes, bro. The whole thing?
18 months. 18 months we waited for that. It happened literally
Dismissed.
minutes before you walked down the aisle.
That's a good sign for the bear.
Go! That is...
Logan Paul's photographer, you went to school with him? Oh, wow. Werner Herzog on chickens was so funny. You introduced me to him. Hell yeah.
Sick!
Jello says, I don't think my upline has grown at all since I left, and here I am. Yep, you're bodying it. Rags to rich, the true rags to riches right there, baby.
Go! That is... sick!
I got it last year. There's a...
Yes!
So yeah, that was kind of a big moment for me because to be validated by the federal court, the United States judicial system, in what I've been saying for the past 3 to 4 years, I didn't scam anyone, I'm innocent, and that this Logan Paul is a scammer narrative is absolute bullshit.
All right, I guess since it's been dismissed, I'm not doing myself any favors if I say that I think he was a scammer or is a scammer, since a court officially decided he isn't one. But I'm just trying to understand if Logan Paul was the face of the CryptoZoo thing, which he was, if he was promoting it like his game, which he was, and people, you know, bought into it, and, you know, they were not made good, the promises were not made good upon, and they weren't able to actually do the thing that they were promised. Like, as far as I understand, the game never actually came out, right? So I'm just asking a question here. How is that not a scam? Hopefully he explains more here.
It's just a really good feeling. And that's the thing about court. Like, you can't hide in court. The truth prevails in court. It prevailed here. I'm stoked about it. And the ruling was pretty damning. These are actually some of my favorite quotes from it.
Quotes from who?
From the judge. The mental gymnastics required to come to this conclusion are truly dizzying. Defendant Paul's statements that CryptoZoo is gymnastics.
This could be out of context. What is the mental gymnastics? Because purchasers buy CryptoZoo NFTs unaware of their value till they hatch, and because the CryptoZoo animals can be bred with others to create hybrid NFTs, an option contract is thereby formed. Okay. A futures contract does not involve the sale of the commodity. It involves the sale of the contract. Okay.
Gymnastics required to come to this conclusion are truly dizzying. Defendant Paul's statements that CryptoZoo is so fun and a really fun game that makes you money are irrefutably puffery, which is legal speak for hype. It's hype. It's not deception. It's not fraud. And they go.
Oh, please, really?
Defendant Paul's statement.
With respect to Defendant Paul's statements, okay, while a seller has some latitude in puffing his goods, he is not authorized to misrepresent them or to assign to them benefits or virtues they do not possess. Okay, but isn't saying it's fun representing them or assigning them benefits or virtues they do not possess if the game never came out? How can it be fun if the thing you're supposed to have fun with never actually dropped? And again, I'm just asking. I'm not asserting anything. I'm just asking a question. Maybe I don't understand. Maybe I don't understand NFTs well enough or something. I don't understand. You know. Also, I just objectively disagree with Logan Paul's statement that the truth always wins in court. That I can tell you from experience that's not always the case. And I mean, you know, there's been countless examples of justice not finding its, you know, having its day in court. You know, many people disagree with I talked about this recently, Casey Anthony. Many people disagree with the fact that Casey Anthony is free out there right now. Many people believe that despite her being found not guilty, that she did kill her daughter. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I know many people think that based on comments that I've read on YouTube and stuff. Anyways.
It's that CryptoZoo is so fun and a really fun game that makes you money are irrefutably puffery.
I mean, isn't puffery on the periphery of deception? Let me Google the word puffery and see. Puffery. Exaggerated, subjective, and non-literal praise used in advertising to make a product sound more appealing. It's a legal concept for statements like the best coffee. Okay? Okay, so it's like sort of like a weasel word. When you say it's the best, you're not saying it's better than anything else. You're just saying it's the best. Okay, while it can be used as a legal defense, it's distinct from fraud because it's not intended to be, nor can it be, relied upon as fact. Okay, well, I guess since fun is subjective, just like if you say something tastes great. Okay, I'm following.
Which is legal speak for hype. It's hype. It's not deception. It's not fraud. And they go even further and say an exaggerated, blustering, and boasting statement.
Okay, yeah, okay, so the weasel words.
Upon which no reasonable buyer would be justified in relying. And then only Ibanez, Greenbaum, which upon...
Hold on, a general claim of superiority over comparable products. Yeah, okay, in the book Doublespeak, he talks about this. Parity products, Parity, two things that are basically similar. Comparable products, so vague, it can be understood as nothing more than a mere expression of opinion.
On which no reasonable buyer would be justified in relying. And then only Ibanez, Greenbaum, which were the bad actors who sabotaged the game.
Defendants surreptitiously released CryptoZoo products on the blockchain and bought them at an artificially low value from the liquidity pool. Allegedly, soon after the project was publicly announced, Ibanez, Greenbaum, and potentially other defendants sold large amounts of the digital products for an immediate and large profit. Okay.
And potentially other defendants sold large amounts of the digital products for an immediate and large profit. So I didn't. And I've said that. I never sold a fucking token. I never made $1 from this project. I wanted to make the best game ever. It failed, but there's a fucking huge difference between failure and fraud. Like, business ventures fail all the time, but to imply scam, to imply deception is just so objectively false, and I'm so happy that the court now says it's on the record. And also, I want to say, like, for anyone who bought the eggs to play the CryptoZoo game, don't forget, I offered to buy all of them back. I committed 1,000 Ethereum, which was like $2.3 million at the time. So the people who did not participate, who thought in Ethereum.
Okay, CoffeeZilla also did a video about this. Apparently, this was a very short window of time to buy them back, and he was buying them. If I recall correctly, Logan was offering to buy the NFTs back at the same crypto price that they were sold. The problem with that is that the crypto had devalued, had gone down in value significantly from the time that people bought them to the time that Logan was offering the buyback. And so my understanding is that, if my recollection serves me correctly, my understanding is that those people still would have been in the negative despite Logan's attempt to make good on their buying price, because the crypto had the value of the crypto had gone down. So it wasn't like they didn't adjust for inflation, I guess. But okay.
Which was like $2.3 million at the time. So the people who did not participate, who thought they had a better chance at suing me in the class action, now lost. Because you believed a headline and you bought into this fake narrative that I'm a scammer. 140 plus people that were trying to sue me in the class action lost. And then obviously the big one, the court recommends defendant Paul's motion to dismiss be granted as to all counts and all 27 of plaintiff's claims be dismissed. And I guess I'm just like grateful. I'm really grateful that the truth came out. I should also mention that the court did give the plaintiffs an ability to refile, so they basically have to start over and then refile their pleadings. And I think they have an uphill battle because, like I said, the truth always wins, and I believe it'll win here. This is why I brought it to court, because it was the only way to get the truth out there, not some manipulated, twisted version of the truth by a couple of content creators looking for clicks and trying to win over the court of public opinion.
Okay, obviously he's talking not so subtly about CoffeeZilla there. I think that's obvious to see.
I'm gonna try to win in court, and that's what I intend to do. It is just the beginning, I promise you that. And I am excited to continue down this path to prove my innocence. This is fantastic momentum. We got a trial in April for the defamation case, and I'm really...
That's... Wow, April. November, December, January, February, March. That's 5 months from now, CoffeeZilla. Damn, apparently... Wow. Wow. I'm just processing this right now because I'm still a little bit confused. Content creators looking for clicks. Okay, let me understand this then. How come Logan released the video? I think it was called Thank You CoffeeZilla. How come he released that video and then like walked it back? I don't know. This just doesn't make sense to me.
Trying to win over the court of public opinion. I'm gonna try to win in court, and that's what I intend to do. It is just the beginning, I promise you that. And I am excited to continue down this path to prove my innocence. This is fantastic momentum. We got a trial in April for the defamation case, and I'm really looking forward to it because I know I have 3 things on my side. I've been saying this, and I've been praying for the past 2 to 3 years that this all comes to light, but I have the truth, I have justice, and I have God on my side. I can see that, I can feel it now, and like I said, we have a lot of momentum, and so we're gonna keep it up. And I'm so fucking grateful for the people that have supported me throughout this journey, who didn't buy into this narrative in the first place. Thank you guys for sticking by me this whole time. Weird note to start the vlog, but let's get into it. Let's go do things.
Let me guess. The rest of it, okay, that was 4 minutes out of 17 minutes. My guess is the rest of it is just going to be a vlog.
I actually wanted to talk about the boys only. I already covered in this vlog. My CryptoZoo class actually got dismissed. Come on, thank you. Thanks, guys.
We can talk about it.
Talk about it again? How many times are we talking about it?
No, I want more in depth. The vlog's 4 minutes long. I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Bro, I didn't even change in my proper outfit. I'm just gonna go.
Bro, what do you think the Pilgrims did when they had to do a podcast?
Hey, I'm gonna leave this camera here just so people know how mean Mike is.
Bro, oh my God. Do I have to say it again? First of all, no one has done more for the...
It's getting old, Mike.
All right, whatever. You know what else is getting old?
I'm skipping ahead, dude. Is this whole vlog being like him telling people that they dismissed the lawsuit?
Drove to Tootsie's and like beat a bartender up.
Damn, well, keep me posted, dude.
All right.
Jesus Christ. I need to go back to CoffeeZilla's video real quick. Humor me real quick on this. CoffeeZilla is so thorough. Okay, let me go and look at this. Wrong button. Okay. Investigating Logan Paul's biggest scam. Ending Logan Paul's biggest scam. Okay, this is the one I want to check out. 8 million views 2 years ago. Has it already been 2 fucking years? Damn, December 2022. Almost 3 years.
Last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project.
We put hundreds of thousands of dollars in it. Personally, the whole team, $1 million plus.
We had an issue with CryptoZoo, where our lead developer took the code that he made, fled to Switzerland, and like held it hostage for $1 million.
He never gave me anything at all, ever. And he promised me, 5% tokens and $1 million. He never gave me.
This reporter says Eddie's entire story is fake.
Liam. Biggest reason I found.
Okay.
We've discovered fake orphans. Welcome to part 3. So far, we've discovered fake orphans, millions of dollars stolen, and a cast of sleazy characters. But now, it's sold what? And finally, Crypto King, Eddie King says, we're gonna sell this thing.
Hold on. This is what I want to go to. The CoffeeZilla video called Logan Paul is Suing Me. That's the one I want to watch. Logan Paul sued me 1 year ago, 7 million views.
So here's the deal.
Okay, this is what I need to understand.
Logan Paul is suing me for CryptoZoo only a year after he thanked me for it. Rather than pay back his victims fully, Logan would rather publicly humiliate himself in court by accusing me of defaming him. He's hired 5 lawyers to sue me, which he hopes will stop me from exposing him again. You see, only hours before this lawsuit was filed, I had reached out to Logan Paul about a new investigation into one of his companies.
Attorney Tom will refile. Jello says, I was just getting out of Amway then. Crazy.
Which has just been accused by the Canadian government of being a multi-layered fraud in Canada. I obviously had questions. Which has just been accused by the Canadian government of being a multi-layered fraud in Canada. I obviously had questions, but before I was able to get answers, Logan's team of lawyers showed up to silence me. We're going to talk about that. We're also...
Yeah, CoffeeZilla is more active on Voidzilla, his second channel. By the way, thumbs up the ting. Free to click like on the stream, get more people notified that we're live. If you want to support the channel, Streamlabs link in the chat. Pinned comment. Membership gift. Turn this chat green and give some memberships to your fellow cult members, ladies and gentlemen. And the new merch, cult member hoodie, phone cases, notebooks, mugs, perfect stocking stuffer things. I mean, especially the mug and the hoodie, Christmas time. Come on now. Drinking hot cocoa and watching the Always Marco Christmas live stream with your anti-pyramid mug and your cult member or anti-pyramid gear. Come on, baby. Quit fucking playing with me. All right, continue.
So I'm going to go through this lawsuit. I'm going to tell you how to support us if you want, because while I didn't think I'd need help, I was wrong. But before we get to my mistake, let's start with Logan's. This lawsuit is not about Logan Paul getting defamed. Instead, this is about him trying to dodge accountability, victims, and blame anyone but himself for his problems, especially me. This lawsuit says Logan Paul wants to hold me accountable for my actions. But what actions are those? Holding him accountable? It's ironic because his lawyers claim Logan has learned to believe in the importance of accountability. But accountability for who? Currently, Logan is fighting the victims of CryptoZoo in court, and now he's fighting...
Stocking stuffer? I barely know her. Oh, but I'm...
the journalist who exposed him in the first place. Personally, I believe Logan has learned nothing from this except how to silence people with the law. But I won't be silenced because Logan's lawsuit makes no sense. We're gonna go through it because from the beginning, there's problems. Logan's 5 lawyers tried to discredit me as a journalist. They paint me as someone who wanted money. They say I had a false and malicious narrative. But you know who doesn't believe that? You know who secretly praises me behind the scenes?
This journalist, YouTuber, crypto uncoverer guy named CoffeeZilla, who's
incredible, by the way. A very thorough, good-hearted, smart guy did a deep dive into this project that
says this, and then in the video, in the vlog we just watched, says like, oh, these content creators just trying to get clicks. So which is it? I'm just trying to understand, Logan. Is he a very thorough, good-hearted, amazing guy, or what?
I attempted to make called Crypto Zoo.
That's right, it's Logan Paul. He's the biggest enemy of Logan Paul's defamation case. Who knew? Because defamation requires actual malice and a reckless disregard for the truth, but he just admitted on camera that I am thorough and good-hearted.
I think I already know what's going to happen with this. Coffeezilla is correct here that, it requires actual malice. You have to, for defamation to succeed, especially in the United States where you have free speech, my understanding, if I understand the law correctly, my understanding is that you have to prove that the other person said something that was not only false, but that they knew it was false. And if the defendant can show that based on the information they had and the research they did, to the best of their belief, what they said at the time was true, then it's not defamatory. They're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to think one thing based on information you had available to you. Perhaps you didn't have the whole picture, but it's not defamatory if you actually believe you are acting in the public interest. And in the case of Coffeezilla, he's a content creator who publishes content for the public, and he had heard from people that he interviewed in the series, if I remember correctly. He interviewed people who had bought into Crypto Zoo expecting one thing, and they did not receive it. And so, he was trying to, through this series, bring public awareness to it to help people to not get scammed or to not be deceived. That would not count as defamation regardless. And this is my understanding. I don't know. I'm not a judge. I don't know how a court is going to decide. But my understanding is that even though Logan was recently dismissed from the case, or rather that he was officially not implicated by the judge and was allowed to be dismissed from the case, that doesn't change the fact that at the time, based on the info that Coffeezilla had available to him and based on his intention with the series, that it doesn't change that. So again, I don't think that Logan is going to be successful in saying Coffeezilla willfully defamed him. I mean, when somebody says that a content creator publishing a story that exposes something bad is just looking for clicks, it's just such a it's just like when people in MLM say, I'm just doing it for clicks or I'm just doing it for money. I wouldn't be making the videos in the first place if y'all weren't scamming. That's number one. And number two, am I supposed to not make money? Make it make sense. If somebody makes a documentary about Epstein or trafficking or whatever it is, are they just doing it for money? Can two things not be true at the same time? Can people not make money and also be doing something good? Is a teacher just doing it for the money? A firefighter? A doctor? Doctors make good money. Are doctors just doing it for the money? Should we not go see the doctor because they're just predatory people who are just doing it for the money? It doesn't make any sense, And how can you do something in the public interest? How can you do public interest journalism without somebody saying that you're just trying to get famous or make money? Well, I'm a public interest journalist. I'm publishing journalism to the public to help the public. How can you then turn that around and be like, oh, you're just doing it for money? Well, okay, so what was I supposed to do? Not publish my findings? You know what I mean? This is what I mean. You can't win with these people. If you make money, they'll say you're just doing it for money. If you demonetize it on purpose, they'll say you're just doing it for clicks. If you don't get clicks, they'll say, you're doing it for no reason and that you shouldn't even bother.
Maybe that's why he wanted to remove that video from the internet, according to the YouTuber who released it.
The only issue that was ever communicated was remove this crypto stuff, remove this Crypto Zoo stuff. If Crypto Zoo is in there, Coffeezilla's in there, I'm not going to promote it.
Yeah, remove that Crypto Zoo stuff, that Coffeezilla stuff. Doesn't look good when you compliment the guy you're trying to sue. Maybe that's why Logan isn't even suing me for my original investigation at all, despite most of this lawsuit being a ridiculous fanfic about how I took Logan out of context, that Logan was a victim, that I withheld text messages. Logan isn't suing me for any of the original investigation, though, because he knows he can't. Instead, at the end of the lawsuit, we find what my defamation really is. I'm being sued for 2 videos and 1 tweet where I advocated for refunds for the victims.
Okay, so yeah, his original video exposing the CryptoZoo thing is not what the lawsuit is over. My understanding is that Logan wasn't able to sue over the original video because there's like a 1-year statute of limitations to sue over certain claims. Example, my Patrick Bet-David video that has over 500,000 views. Patrick wouldn't be able to sue me for that video because it came out over a year ago. If Patrick wanted to sue me, it would have to be for a piece of content that came out since then. So there's that. And so, yeah, Logan is suing him over a couple of videos. Let's see what the videos were again. Logan Paul's scam isn't over. Logan Paul's refund, okay.
Sued for 2 videos and 1.
And this tweet, Logan Paul really is the type of dude to thank you when you expose his scam. Okay, so I guess that's the allegedly defamatory statement, saying expose his scam. Okay.
Tweet where I advocated for refunds for the victims. Yes, you heard me right. Logan Paul sued me after I tried to get his fans, the CryptoZoo investors, a full refund. Remember, there are 2 parts to CryptoZoo, the NFTs and the Zoo tokens, and Logan chose only to refund the NFTs, which is a minority of the losses, and I had a major problem with that. I told Logan this. I've stated over and over my opinion that it is disappointing for someone as rich as Logan to not make things fully right, and instead only pay back a small part of the losses while fighting the rest of the victims in court. And it's those videos and tweet where I ask for refunds, which I'm being sued for. The first video in question is about Logan Paul not paying out refunds for 6 months. The second video was about Logan's partial refund, having a clause to make sure you couldn't sue him for the rest of your refund. And the tweet, I simply said, Logan's the type of guy to thank you for exposing a scam and block you when you remind him to pay up. I mean, yeah, now he's the type of guy to then sue you. Now,
I mean, I don't even think that term is that sentence could be defamatory no matter how you slice it, because isn't the word scam also not a legal term? Like, isn't the word scam also subjective? Scam definition. Okay. A scam, Google says a scam is a fraudulent or deceptive scheme to trick people out of their money or gain an unfair advantage. Okay, let's see. Is scam a defamatory? Is calling something a scam defamatory? Here. It can be defamatory if the statement is false and damages the reputation of a person, business, or product. The key factors are that the statement is presented as fact, is false, is communicated to a third party, and lowers the reputation of the subject in the eyes of a reasonable person. However, the statement may not be defamatory if it is true, is clearly stated as a non-actionable opinion, or is protected by a legal defense like qualified privilege for issues of public interest. Okay, so there's nuance to this. Let's see. Make sure I understand my qualified privilege. Okay, let's see what qualified privilege is. A legal defense that allows for the publication of defamatory statements under specific circumstances, protecting communications made when there is a duty to communicate and a corresponding interest in receiving the info. It is also known as the duty defense. And okay, I think in Canada, this is called a matter of public interest and is based on the public interest in allowing for frank and uninhibited communication. Okay. The protection of qualified privilege if law is lost if the statement is made with malice, meaning it was made with an improper purpose or the maker knew it was false or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. Understood. Okay. Okay. So I don't think that's the case here, right? I think CoffeeZilla was being very reasonable. He showed screenshots of his texts to Logan where he was trying to give Logan the benefit of the doubt to issue statements or refunds or whatever. So, okay.
I'm sure Logan doesn't like it when I say things like Logan's victims or Logan's scam, but I have a question. If they're not Logan's victims, whose victims are they? Even Logan admits they are victims. He told me via text.
Okay.
Just thought we had the same goal of helping victims instead of a divisive social media war. So he agrees people have been wronged by his game. You know, the thing that he said will earn you money.
It's a really fun game that makes you money.
So how are these not Logan's victims? He, of course, would say it's his business partner's fault. But remember, Jake and Eddie have been out of the picture for years. And yet, CryptoZoo hasn't been released, despite Logan constantly promising it. And of course...
Yeah, okay, the AI summary, obviously it's more nuanced than that, but I'm just trying to get a ballpark estimate of what these terms mean in the context of United States law. I'm more familiar with Canadian law.
Also threatening to sue me.
We're gonna handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
By the time this comes out, it'll be done. The game's gonna be made. You're gonna have the opportunity to get your money back if you want, if you don't want to play the game. And I'm gonna take care of the people who made me look like this was a scam perpetrated by me.
Right. Logan wants to sue me and release a finished CryptoZoo game, but he's only done one of those. Since Logan can't blame his partners, Jake and Eddie, for this because they've been out of the picture, do you think he'll take accountability for not launching CryptoZoo? No. This time, he blames the government. He says releasing CryptoZoo has too many regulatory hurdles. Maybe they should have thought of that before multi-millions of dollars of zoo tokens and eggs were sold. And now Logan would rather blame the government than take accountability. Or if you let him keep talking, Logan might rant about internet reporters having too much responsibility.
These internet journalists, internet investigative reporters have way too much responsibility on their hands that is being mismanaged and wielded in a really inappropriate way.
It's honestly funny to watch this guy whine about his problems, which you can barely hear over what sounds like a private jet. Which brings me to another problem Logan has. Part of any defamation case is damages, and proving someone has harmed your reputation. But isn't Logan richer than ever with Prime? And damages, and proving someone has harmed your reputation. But isn't Logan richer than ever with Prime? And did he have a reputation to harm? His lawsuit shows comments calling Logan a scammer, possibly to suggest he's been hurt by my videos, but you have to have a reputation to lose one. And by the time of my reporting in question, Logan Paul was already accused of participating in multiple crypto pump and dump schemes. That article does not reference my work. So Logan had already had a reputation as a scammer before my investigation, at least if you believe their allegations. So this lawsuit from beginning to end is groundless, meritless, frivolous, and Logan knows that because behind the scenes, in clips he didn't want to get out, he's saying I'm thorough and good-hearted. But
Russ Royce, appreciate you. Where's the best place to drop a dono? Streamlabs link in the chat. YouTube Super Chat be taking 30%. Streamlabs link in the chat is the best place. Thank you, Russ Royce. You are a legend. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Who is going to be is it Russ Royce who's going to be the hero, the legend who drops the first bag of the night and helps us fill up this dono goal so that we do so that we subject our hero, always Marco, to a DJ Vlad, Patrick Bet-David reaction stream? Oh, God.
Public, he wants to sue me, silence me, and cost me money because that's the one department where we both know.
Oh, Slothgasm says 2 goats on my screen. Appreciate you.
Oh, he's got me beat. We might have silenced me and cost me money because that's the one department where we both know he's got me beat. We might have facts. We might even have evidence. But he's got all the money and the lawyers. And this is where I have to get to my one embarrassing mistake in all of this. See, my defense against rich people like Logan Paul is media insurance, for frivolous lawsuits. So when I was sued, I immediately called my insurance company to file a claim so I wouldn't have to pay for it. But they told me they're not going to pay. They're trying to get out of covering us using lawyers in fine print. It's a long story that I will be explaining on my second channel because insurance underwriting is very boring. But suffice to say, I got Dylan Danist. I may have even gotten scammed. I'm not quite sure. For now, the bottom line is we have to fight Logan with our personal funds, which means I need to ask for your support. If you want to help and are able to help, there are 2 ways to contribute to our fight against Logan Paul. One, you can join our Patreon, which supports the channel. Or you can buy exclusive merch at coffeezilla.store, where we just released the CoffeeZilla defense drop. That's right. Life hands you lawsuits. You get rejected by your insurance. Make merch. So here's the deal. These shirts will be available for pre-order for only the next...
Uh-oh.
Christopher Terry donated 10 Canadian dollars.
Thank you, Chris Terry.
I noticed that all these MLM scams have the same format of name. Most are one word, with a weird, unique, sounding name. Vema, Unicity, Herbalife, UNS. It's almost like a dead giveaway. It screams, scam.
Interesting point there, Christopher Terry. Thank you, Christopher Terry, for the donation. I need to add the, oh, Christopher Terry to my stream deck as well. That would be great. Chris Terry, all these MLM scams have the same format of name. Most are one word with a weird, unique sounding name. Vema, Unicity, Herbalife, UNS. It's almost like a dead giveaway. It screams scam. Interesting. Yeah, I never thought of that, but that's true, I guess. They do, it's true. What I'm referring to as true is that they all are a unique sounding name. So yeah, thank you, Chris Terry. Appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you.
14 days. And 100% of profits we make from selling them will go to this lawsuit. If for some weird reason there's money left over, it will be dedicated to future legal costs for this channel. I just want to let you know they're available, and it's a cool way to support the lawsuit while also getting something in return. I didn't want to just set up a GoFundMe. So if you want to do that, just know pre-orders take a few weeks to get done because we make them after you order. And remember, you have 14 days. And you can get that at coffeezilla.store. I'll link that below. It's coffeezilla.store. All right, now we're going to shift gears and talk about the final part of this lawsuit. Why did Logan Paul sue me now? It's been over a year since he apologized and thanked me.
Thank you, CoffeeZilla. I am very grateful for your work and your investigation. And I mean that. Thank you, bro.
It might seem strange, but I've got some fun facts for you that may or may not be related. Did you know 6 days before the lawsuit, I had featured Logan Paul in a teaser for a video? Did you know 21 hours before the lawsuit, I had texted Logan for comment? Did you know I told him he had 24 hours to respond, and Logan sued me 3 hours before the deadline? Yep, that's right. Logan's lawyers then threatened me in that lawsuit email that if I report on this new story, Logan might hold me accountable. And Logan's definition of accountability seems to mean he'll sue me, which is why I believe this lawsuit was not designed to win, but to shut me up, to threaten me, using Logan's wealth and a federal court system without anti-slap to send a message. Do not tell that story. Of course, I don't believe that's the only reason I was sued. Clearly, Logan wanted to sue me for a while, but I believe this new investigation played a role in pulling the trigger. Maybe Logan's team will deny this. Maybe they'll say it's coincidence they sued 3 hours before a deadline. Maybe it's coincidence I announced a story about Logan 6 days before, and maybe it's coincidence that Logan's lawyers threatened me about this new story while suing me for the last story that I hadn't discussed in 6 months. But I don't think so. Either way, when someone threatens new reporting in a lawsuit about old reporting, the effect is the same. So, what was this new story? Well, it's partly about a Canadian law enforcement investigation, and it's partly about something I told Logan to help him. Yes, believe it or not, I tried to help Logan Paul. To explain, we need to go back to when CryptoZoo first got exposed. Logan said he...
Wait, David says I dropped a dono. Did it go through? Were you Christopher Terry? Was that you dropping the dono? If so, then yes, we saw it. Amway's like that too, says Jello Impact. Maybe only World Financial Group is kind of normal. Okay.
Was going to sue me, but got backlash. So he called me to apologize. He said he was not exposed. Logan said he was going to sue me, but got backlash. So he called me to apologize. He said he was wrong and wanted to make things right. I made it clear refunds are the absolute right move going forward. And to my surprise, he agreed. 100%, man. We're on the same page. But we weren't. Logan now doesn't use the word refund. He calls this a buyback. But at the time, I need you to understand, I thought Logan was going to announce a full refund, so began trying to help him. And dare I say, I was even nice to the guy. You can see that I tried to offer people who might be able to trace blockchain damages to refund people. And in the same spirit, I made Logan aware of potential problems at a different company he co-owned, called Liquid Marketplace.
On a platform that I co-founded called Liquid Marketplace, it allows co-ownership of top-tier assets. So instead of one person, me owning this card, we as a collective can co-own it together.
This was a fractionalized collectible platform where Logan sold things like roughly half of a $5 million Pokemon card. The idea was you could buy tokens that represented partial ownership in rare collectibles. That video, by the way, got 8 million views, and a lot of people bought into this platform. The problem was I had heard troubling stories about this company, and I was trying to verify if the claims were true. So I had gone to the CEO, Ryan Bahadori, to ask him questions, but he kept dodging meetings. And I don't mean he refused meeting with me. I mean, we would set up meetings and then he did not show up. So I was troubled. And I brought this up to Logan. I figured if he's going to make one company right, make them all right. Otherwise, it might come back to bite him. I mean, can you imagine the disaster if another one of Logan Paul's co-founded companies was discovered to have scammed his fans? Hypothetically, that would be a very bad look. So I'm thinking, while he refunds CryptoZoo, Logan can push the CEO to talk with me, and I can figure out the truth. Maybe Logan can fix it if there's something wrong. And you can see Logan responds to me. He says, gonna push Ryan to talk to you. Again, appreciate it, man. Now, I don't hear back from Ryan or Logan about this, so after a while, I follow up again. I say, let me know if Ryan plans on talking. A lot of nasty stories still out there about Liquid Marketplace, embezzlement, etc., and he's dodged meeting me already once. Now, obviously, the most shocking part of this is the word embezzlement. I need to make it clear. This is not an accusation. I am not accusing Logan Paul or Liquid Marketplace of wrongdoing. I brought it up in our texts because it is my job to investigate unverified claims. That's the whole point of me wanting to meet with the CEO, but I was stonewalled. Logan never replied, despite me reminding him again via email 5 months later that I wanted to talk to Ryan about, quote, embezzlement and, quote, potential fraud. Once again, not accusing anyone of wrongdoing, I'm simply doing my job at the time to chase down rumors and unverified claims. Without concrete proof, I would have never talked about any of this. But on June 19th, 2024, things changed because the Ontario Securities Commission revealed a liquid marketplace investigation where they accused Liquid Marketplace of being a multi-layered fraud, taking in $2.7 million from the sale of these fractionalized collectibles. The platform allegedly...
Wait, so who sued? Ontario Securities Commission. Okay.
Did not do exactly what it promised. Some of the blockchain tokens did not even mint. But even worse was the allegation that approximately $3 million was misappropriated from $10 million they raised of investor funds. This is a very similar claim to the one I had tried to verify. Ryan Bahadouri, the guy I tried to speak to, was accused of, quote, making hidden payments to shell corporations without any legitimate business purpose, as were 2 other of the founders. And Ryan was accused of, quote, using company credit cards to buy high-end fashion, expensive jewelry and watches, personal health and luxury spa services. If only there was someone who could have investigated this sooner. Now, it is really important to say, Logan Paul is not accused by the OSC. Only 3 of his co-founders and his company is. But given the history, I had questions. After all, Logan's promotional video about Liquid Marketplace is still up. And the reason many people cared about Liquid Marketplace at all was arguably Logan Paul. So here were my questions. And as I read this, it's important to correct. I say Liquid Marketplace got accused of embezzlement. Technically, the OSC alleged misappropriation of funds. Those are similar. They're not the same. So I wanted to correct that. But here's what I asked. Quote, did you take any action on hearing these allegations over a year ago? Did you get approached by the Ontario Securities Commission? And is it true that Liquid Marketplace lied about their claims of insurance, appraisals, and co-ownership as the Ontario Securities Commission alleges? You can see I gave him 24 hours to respond on June 26th at 2:03 p.m. And I was promptly sued June 27th at 11:28 a.m. 26th at 2:03 p.m. And I was promptly sued June 27th at 11:28 a.m. with roughly 3 hours to spare. Now I want to be clear. I don't need 24 hours to respond on June a.m. with roughly 3 hours to spare. Now I want to be clear. I don't know the answers to the questions I sent. Maybe Logan secretly whistleblew to the OSC when I first went to him. I don't know. That's why you ask questions as a reporter. But now the story is not about those questions. It's about why I was sued immediately after asking them and threatened if I reported about Liquid Marketplace in a way they didn't like. This is not how I wanted this story to come out because there's still so much we don't know and so much I can't say now for legal reasons. Maybe Logan's totally innocent. Maybe he surrounded himself.
That's the part I'm most interested in. The stuff you can't say because of legal reasons.
With scumbags who defrauded his fans.
You know, I did talk to Coffeezilla a few days ago, but we didn't talk about this.
Maybe he'll do a refund for this project. I don't know because I never got the chance to find out. I tried to investigate, but I was stonewalled and sued when I asked questions. Make no mistake though, this investigation is still ongoing and you can reach me at the email below if you were affected. I will release my full investigation when it's appropriate because even if Logan doesn't want to answer questions, it doesn't mean I have to stop asking them. So in summary, Logan's lawsuit is not about my original reporting into crypto.
Okay, so it's not about any of these 3 videos. That's good to know.
Even if you take this lawsuit on its own without context, it's an argument over Logan not refunding victims in full. It's Logan insisting he's not to blame. It's all his business partner's fault. But I don't think that aligns with the publicly known facts. That's my opinion. For years, Logan has controlled CryptoZoo, and yet the game is still not out. Logan is now blaming the government for that instead of himself. And he also...
Interesting. So yeah, perhaps Logan in the class action that was just recently dismissed, or at least temporarily dismissed pending an appeal from Attorney Tom and whoever, was Legal Eagle also involved with that? I don't remember. But in hindsight, it's interesting to look at this because perhaps it is the case that Logan is not to blame. But as we can see from Coffeezilla's video here, it's Coffeezilla's opinion at the time, based on the information he has available to him for the purposes of protecting the public and doing public interest journalism. It's his understanding, at least, and his opinion that Logan is an involved, responsible party to CryptoZoo. So I don't see how this could ever possibly be interpreted as defamatory. Also, David says he dropped a dono. I think that is the one I read, right? The one attributed to Chris Terry. I did get it. Did you not see me read it out? It definitely came up and played the text to speech. There's only been one donation come through, and that was Christopher Terry, $10. And yeah, that's got to be you, right?
Blames me for losing his good reputation, but you can't lose something you never had. Not to mention, Logan is arguably richer than ever, and he's on the record finding my reporting thorough and good-hearted. So this defamation lawsuit feels frivolous even on the surface. But if you dig deeper, There's an even more compelling story, which I personally believe, where the goal is to crush new investigations while taking revenge on old ones.
And didn't Legal Eagle also drop a video about this lawsuit and call it garbage?
20 Canadian dollars and 69 cents.
Oh shit.
I was having a conversation with Tupac, Larry Ellison, Elon, Trump and the Shah of Iran at Casa D'Angelo. I was telling Dilly you need to pre-order the Future Looks Bright shoes. Okay, no.
Okay, hold on, let me read this. Thank you, Thick Nectar, $20.69 super chat. Or I mean, Streamlabs don't know. I was having a conversation with Tupac, Larry Ellison, Elon, Donald Trump, and the Shah of Iran at Casa D'Angelo. I was telling Dilly, you need to pre-order the Future Looks Bright shoes. Okay, no problem. That's number one. Okay, please make another Patrick Bet-David stream. Thank you for that, Thick Nectar. First time donor from Thick Nectar. You know, if we fill up this donor goal, I will absolutely do another Patrick stream. I have other videos on my list that I want to react to and things that I want to talk about, but we're talking about it. We're having very high level conversations. Me, Tom, Adam, Vinny, Dilly. Oh God. Yeah. I'll definitely consider it. Pull the shoes up on the screen. You want to see them? Here they are. Jesus Christ, man. I don't like them. That's not a defamatory statement. That's just my opinion. It's my subjective opinion. I'm not saying that they look bad quality. I'm not saying that they look cheap. I'm not saying that they're a scam. I'm not saying that they're overpriced. I'm just saying I don't like them.
Logan might not even care about winning. Legal battles are expensive. And in the world of money, he's got me beat. So he can try to silence me by weaponizing the law.
PBD reacts to Italian brain rot. Yeah, people have asked me for that one too. All right, you look at a guy. This is a guy, tongue sahur. Rob, pull that up.
He can sue me for doing my job. He can sue me for asking questions, and he can sue me for asking for refunds. But it's going to backfire because I think it reveals Logan as a bully rather than someone who's truly sorry. Because Logan may be a master at convincing people he's changed, but I'm convinced it's the follow-through where things go wrong. You know, the actually changing part. There was a time where even I believed Logan was going to fully refund victims. That's why I was so nice to him and tried to help despite him threatening to sue me. But when it came time to pay up, Logan chose a minority refund and to fight the rest of the victims in court who wanted their money. And when I complained about that, Logan went from sorries and thank yous to lawyers and I'm suing you real quick. The irony is, it was that same initial belief in Logan's capacity to change that also made me bring up Liquid Marketplace to help stop potential problems. And yet here we are. The company is now accused of being a multi-layered fraud by the OSC. And the CEO, who I tried to talk to multiple times, is alleged to have misappropriated money. This is despite me trying to talk to Logan directly many times as he asked.
Maybe we could have talked about this if you had reached out to me personally, not my manager, Jeff, who is not me, Steven.
Well, I did try to reach out personally, and I got sued and threatened a day later. That, I think, says a lot about Logan's supposed change and his belief in accountability. Maybe the person he really believes in accountability for is not himself, but me.
Bars.
Specifically, when I try to get accountability from him. If you want to support this lawsuit...
Let's see if... I remember Legal Eagle did a video about this. 7 million views. Logan Paul sued CoffeeZilla and it's crap. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I like Legal Eagle, the topics he discusses. And I know that the whole point is to go in depth into the legal stuff. But I can't help but feel like some of the videos drag on too long and could be condensed into more simpler videos. But obviously it's working for him. Like 28 minutes long, 7 million views. Would it really have done much better if it was 18 minutes long? I don't know. But
yes,
let's just see a little bit of it.
Logan Paul has sued CoffeeZilla for saying mean things about his crypto scams. Hey, Logan, I'm going to say some mean things about you. You want to dance? But who could have possibly have seen that Logan Paul's crypto ventures might not be on the
game that makes
old?
Okay, let's skip the background.
In November of 2022, CoffeeZilla started a 3-part series on CryptoZoo. At first, Paul responded by blaming a developer who fled to Switzerland with the source code and held it hostage. There's no actionable defamation in these old exchanges since Logan Paul acknowledges what CoffeeZilla reported was true, and they're also outside of the 1-year statute of limitations for bringing libel claims in Texas. But that's where things get interesting because Logan Paul announced a 3-step plan to remedy the problem.
So I'd like to...
He's not a developer, he's not reached out to his manager rather than... The whole complaint basically admits that CryptoZoo was broken beyond...
Okay. Skipping past all this.
Paul, and he relied on their advice. Now, CoffeeZilla's January 5th video was published 1 day after Paul sued the developers and finally made a refund offer. Paul claims that since CoffeeZilla had many of the documents and text messages Paul cited in his lawsuit, that any characterization of Paul as a con or a scammer is false and defamatory. But CoffeeZilla's video explains that Logan Paul's refund offer came with a bunch of strings. He was offering up to $2.3 million, but the estimated damages are more than $18 million, and anyone who accepts the refund must waive their legal...
They're suing the dogs, they're suing the cats. What up, Gabriella? Welcome. I do agree. I end up not watching the full video. I do like him, though. Mo S, what up? Bro took shoes from Hugo Boss and replaced Boss with Future Looks Bright. Hilarious.
Rights to participate in a lawsuit filed by attorney Tom or in any other legal action against Paul.
Logan may be losing. Put in that light then. This refund starts to look less like a good faith attempt to make things right and more like a cynical bargaining chip to avoid getting in even more trouble.
Now, I don't know if Logan Paul is acting in good faith, but CoffeeZilla is perfectly entitled to that opinion. And there's no way to prove that factually, in Logan's brain, he had good intentions all along, including when his lawyers made a settlement offer. But CoffeeZilla certainly has plenty. I don't know if Logan Paul is acting in good faith, but CoffeeZilla is perfectly entitled to that opinion. And there's no way to prove that factually, in Logan's brain, he had good intentions all along, including when his lawyers made a settlement offer. But CoffeeZilla certainly has plenty of reasons for concluding that there was a con and a scam. And as he points out in the video, he watched Logan's fans beg for a refund for 3 years.
This is the key. Proving CoffeeZilla's intent as being malicious. I like that we're hearing Devin's legal eagle's name is Devin. I'm saying it like I know him on a personal basis. I don't. It feels weird to call him legal eagle. But yeah, as he's saying, he's
had good intentions all along, including when his lawyers made a settlement offer. But CoffeeZilla
certainly has plenty of reasons.
Has plenty of reasons for concluding that there was a con and a scam.
Okay.
And as he points out in the video, he watched Logan's fans beg for a refund for 3 years.
But I was wrong. I mean, I wasn't wrong the first time he said I was wrong when he said he was going to still finish the game. I was wrong that he was going to do it at all.
But even after 12 months of work, you've still managed to overlook one crucial piece of information. See, even though I've said it's coming so many times, you've assumed that CryptoZoo isn't being made. Who are you to decide when the development timeline ends? Trust me, CryptoZoo is coming. I will make damn sure of it.
Spoiler alert, it never came.
Oops. So much for making damn sure of it, because there's no game.
And despite hemming and hawing about the game, Logan Paul didn't actually finish the CryptoZoo game. And ironically, the lawsuit that Logan Paul filed against the developers made good use of CoffeeZilla's investigations and videos about Ibanez's background and Greenberg's secret sales of tokens.
Turns out Eddie Ibanez's entire backstory was a fabrication, including the MIT NFL story. Can you believe it? It's like, yeah, we know. And then he goes, yeah, well, you won't believe what I discovered. Crypto King secretly sold tokens. Yeah, we know. Logan just shamelessly rips off my work claim for claim without citing me. I mean, he says things like, Mr. Greenbaum would later admit that he made millions of dollars through his surreptitious sales of Zoo tokens. But where did Logan find that admission? Was it perhaps when he investigated my video? Time and time again, this lawsuit copies my work, but is embarrassed to cite it. So they even have to say things like, based on public reports. What public report? Mr. Ibanez made approximately $1.7 million from selling Zoo tokens. I could swear I've heard that before. And for my calculations, he made about $1.7 million.
So Logan Paul has sued CoffeeZilla for making false statements because
can't make this shit up.
As he keeps repeating facts that Paul has acknowledged in his own lawsuit against the developers are true. But Logan Paul just doesn't like how CoffeeZilla has characterized these facts. Now, sure, Logan Paul wants people to look at these same facts and conclude that he had positive intentions and that he got taken advantage of the bad guys. And maybe you do, but you're also welcome to conclude that Logan Paul is a serial scammer because two people can draw different conclusions from the same facts and it doesn't qualify as defamation. And while things that are labeled as—
There you go. That's a big key. That's a big bar right there.
CoffeeZilla has characterized these facts in his own lawsuit against the developers are true, but Logan Paul just doesn't like how CoffeeZilla has characterized these facts. Now, sure, Logan Paul wants people to look at these same facts and conclude that he had positive intentions and that he got taken advantage of the bad guys. And maybe you do, but you're also welcome to conclude that Logan Paul is a serial scammer because two people can draw different conclusions from the same facts and it doesn't qualify as defamation.
There you go. There you go.
And while things that are labeled as opinion can sometimes give rise to defamation, they still need to be a verifiable fact. And there's actually case law applying the word scam in the context of a cryptocurrency scheme. And courts have decided that using the word scam in the context of a cryptocurrency scheme is generally not a verifiable fact that can be proved true or false. But even if you could, it would still qualify as an opinion. And that makes sense. We call things scams all the time when there's an outcome that we don't necessarily like. Logan Paul asserts that you can only use the word scam to describe something where they intentionally intended something to steal money from someone, but that just doesn't jive with the regular definition of scam that we use all the time. Though it might actually apply in this case too. We don't know. Now, Logan Paul's lawsuit seeks compensatory damages for the harm to his reputation, emotional distress, and punitive damages, and an injunction to prevent CoffeeZilla from continuing to report on CryptoZoo. But the bottom line is that Logan Paul filed this lawsuit because he wants to silence his main critic. And that's the very definition of a slap suit. And even though CoffeeZilla won't be able to use the TCPA, he still has every other defense to a defamation lawsuit, including his statements are true facts, and also his own opinions. The First Amendment also protects rhetorical hyperbole, which is how we describe exaggerated over-the-top speech employed for rhetorical effect. And frankly, even if these statements were defamatory, Paul would probably struggle to prove damages. Now, so far, CoffeeZilla hasn't said
There you go.
anything publicly, which is very smart. He's hired
Pyramid stands for Patrick, you really always make idiots deposit.
some great attorneys.
Good try.
And it looks like he'll let them do the talking, which again is smart because when it comes to IRL legal.
Honestly, I have to be honest, I have one of the craziest side profiles in the entire game. I really do. When that beard line gets carved up, when I go to the barber and I get that fade and I get that lineup, I have one of the craziest. And for a Lebanese guy, I gotta big up my nose. I don't even have like a big hooked nose like that. You know, a lot of Lebanese guys, I'll be honest, we got some beaks. We got some beaks on us. Not me though.
I gotta get the bag.
Marco.
Scott and Peter, you have to admit, I've got one of the craziest side profiles in the game.
Disputes, the shit gets real. Now, as far as I know, talking, which again is smart because when it comes to IRL legal disputes, the shit gets real. Now, as far as I know, CoffeeZilla has not started a GoFundMe or a campaign to recoup any of his legal defense costs, and those can get astronomically expensive. Ethan Klein of H3H3 incurred hundreds of thousands of dollars in a fair use dispute, and that was 10 years ago. But the next best thing would be to support CoffeeZilla on Patreon, which is where he gets.
What a legend. Another video that got 8 million views, 7 million views, sorry, promoting your GoFundMe. I mean, your Patreon. What a bag.
World of online lawyers, there's a whole spectrum of people that are qualified and that are not. Quick perusal of your resume seems to indicate that you guys know your way around defamation.
Yeah, most folks are probably aware of my defamation practice through the lawsuits that I brought against Alex Jones and InfoWars on behalf of several Sandy Hook parents. This situation is used on a different foot. This will actually be the first time that we are defending someone from a defamation suit, but it is.
Oh, okay, so these are the guys. This is CoffeeZilla's lawyer. I'm not sure if this is still his lawyer, but presumably at the time it was.
Examination skewering. So CoffeeZilla is in pretty good hands. After Jones's attorney accidentally sent Bankston examination skewering. So CoffeeZilla is in pretty good hands. But don't take it from me. I reached out to CoffeeZilla's lawyers and got Mark Bankston on the phone. Mark, thanks for being here. You are
agreed to reached out to CoffeeZilla in this very exciting suit.
You know, in the world of online lawyers, there's a whole spectrum of people that are qualified and that are not. Quick perusal of your resume seems to indicate that you guys
that I brought against Alex. This will actually be the first time that we are defending someone from a defamation suit, but it is something we very strongly believe in this particular case.
What has happened so far?
Right now, very little has happened. There hasn't been an answer in the suit or anything like that. You would usually, in most states at this point, face an anti-slap motion. That type of motion is not available in federal court in the Fifth Circuit in Texas. In this case, the federal court venue was chosen, and there seems to be no obvious reason for that except to avoid the anti-slap motion. Ironically, this is a very, very vicious attack on CoffeeZilla's reputation that really he has no way to vindicate except going in the court and winning on this suit.
Reading the complaint, I was very surprised that Logan Paul had completely rehabilitated his image and then CoffeeZilla just came out of nowhere and besmirched him for no reason whatsoever. So I found that to be very surprising.
Yeah, it seems far-fetched. I guess we'll have to see where Discovery takes us on that. Definitely. I mean, look, you can look at this suit and it has all of the hallmarks of a classic slap suit. There's not a single person on this planet who can look at this situation and say that CoffeeZilla knew and intended to tell lies about Logan Paul. You know, I think I knew it before he became my client. I think I know it way more now. If there's something that man cares about, it's the truth. He is devoted to that principle, like very few journalists that I see today. This case really presents a David and Goliath type problem. You look at somebody like CoffeeZilla, yes, he has a lot of YouTube subscribers. I mean, I'm sure he makes money. You know, I'm sure he does fine. He's not anywhere near the capacity of his opponent. I mean, his opponent has an unlimited war chest to come at him and could essentially use the suit to drive him off the internet. We're not going to let that happen.
So in terms of next steps, I would assume there would be a motion to dismiss based on the allegations of the complaint, or maybe if you wanted to get feisty, pre-answer discovery. I don't know if that's available.
Absolutely. I mean, look, you can't look at that complaint and not think judgment on the pleadings. I mean, that's just what you think the moment you see it. Are the statements being made even something that can be verified as true or false? What does it mean to call something a scam? The word scam can be interpreted a lot of different ways. And it does not mean one thing to all people. Businesses and bad deals are described as scams constantly.
This is not the only suit that Logan Paul is in related to the crypto scheme, he's currently facing other lawsuits related to the nature of that. And it seemed to me that a lot of those allegations are going to be deleterious for the litigation that he's in outside of this particular case.
The thing that I kept thinking to myself is that if I'm any one of those claimants in those cases, I'm extremely interested in the things that were said in this complaint. And as a result, going to be very interested in how this lawsuit progresses. All right, dude, thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot. Take care. But even with great lawyers, lawsuits are still stressful, and it's easy to lose your appetite.
Okay, he goes over the background. He gives his opinion. He does an ad read. He interviews CoffeeZilla's lawyer. Okay, it makes sense why this video was as long as it was. Still. King Duce, he did have a nice Lexus. Lamau, I want that Lexus, but I'll work for it. Oh, you were talking about who? A dude stalked me at work for weeks to join one of these. His intro was, wow, you have a nice figure. Ayo? Pause. Mo says, thanks for the diss regarding the side profile. Oh, I'm sorry, Mo. Queen of Karma has the Italian nose. Shit. Almost got an M. I have papers from personal meetings from a dude trying to recruit me. He was a PBD clone. He was a numbers guy. Interesting. Yes, Jay Velez, go back to the earlier part of the stream. Also, Jay Velez, regarding your donation from the last stream, thank you again. You mentioned having a friend who was trying to get you to, who was trying to talk to you about having an opportunity and this and that. Talking about how you've been, where you work, plan on retiring, and you wanted to send her a video from me. It depends. Like, she might not actually be open to seeing a video from me. I have the video Why Making Money in an MLM is Impossible, and the other one called The Truth About MLMs. I think it's called The Truth About MLMs and Pyramid Schemes. But the better thing might be to try to engage with her in a way that's not like confrontational or like me versus you. And I'm nearly finished with this guide, this free guide that I'm about to put out for dealing with this exact type of situation. So I'm hoping that can be a help to you and to many other people, because especially these last few days, or I guess last week, since I started dropping these Patrick Bet-David impression clips, got a lot of new followers and a lot of, more DMs than usual from people asking me about that type of stuff. But yes, Adam did respond to me. He was in the comments on my IG post. Excuse me. Excuse me, Trump. Yeah, but appreciate it. All right, well, guys, I have so much work to do. I have so much editing to do. I've got to work on this website. I've got to work on this free guide. I've got too much to do. Oh, and I'm supposed to give this lawyer a call. So speaking of lawyers, we talked a lot about lawyers on this stream. If you want to support and help me to, pay for my own lawyers, which I'm dealing with for my own lawsuits, alwaysmarcomerch.com. The new merch is there. Get the cult member hoodie in time for Christmas. Get the mug in time for Christmas. Maybe for New Year's 2026, you need a planner to write down your thoughts and stay organized so that you can, have your daily plans in order and you're not all over the place for 2026. Stay organized. You can get the Write This Down journal. Maybe I'm going to drop some new merch soon too. Maybe I'm going to drop some Mo. How do you know? So yeah. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. I'll see you on Saturday. New videos dropping. Free guide dropping. Indian Psychic undercover investigation soon come dropping. 110 people still watching. You hate to see me leave when there's so many people. 110 people. It's such a big crowd. Look at that crowd. They won't show that crowd. More people at this inauguration. More people than saw Biden. More people than Sleepy Joe. All right, thank you guys. Tempest, appreciate you. One of the only members in the chat holding on strong. The mods had them wrenches held high. Appreciate you. Creating America says don't leave. Ussy Gussy, peace out. B, what up? When I hear this bloke talk now, all I hear is PBD. Hilarious. Dude, imagine how I feel. I'm hearing it now. I'll say things like, I'll say, by the way, and I can't help but being like, by the way, or that's number one. All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support. Love y'all. Alex. Love y'all. Later. Peace.